What is up, guys? Dashing here for episode 677 of Community Universe Mode and edition number 26 of Supremacy, coming fresh off the heels of what was a pretty outstanding cause and effect pay-per-view, if I do say so myself. The King of the Ring tournament, of course, coming and going. Congratulations to the new King of the Ring and Brett Curtis, who we will see in action here tonight a little bit later on. But kicking off the show, we have two of the men who were involved in that King of the Ring tournament, Brian Jacobson, the Anarchy champion, and Jay Young, going one-on-one, both men falling out first round at cause and effect, and so gonna try to bounce back. But maybe the bigger story coming out of the King of the Ring tournament in regards to Brian Jacobson was the return of Big Show. After nearly 5 years, the former World Tag Team Champion returned, and we thought he was maybe going to help Brian Jacobson try and win the match, but in the end, Jacobson willingly cost himself against Jaquan Shea, and he and Big Show celebrated as if that's what they wanted. A lot of questions, certainly, more so than answers, coming out of that situation, but Big Show making it clear that that was not a one-time thing, as he is here ringside for Jacobson taking on the Numpty Killer. Was hoping to become the Numpty King, but or King of the Numpties, as he so eloquently put it himself. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to overcome the eventual winner, Brett Curtis, in the first round. Jay Young not going to let that deter him. Quite an opportunity, even with the looming threat of the world's largest athlete at ringside. Brett is getting his cameo in faux show. Jay Young, got to imagine a win here over Jacobson could earn him a future crack at that Anarchy Championship. The former NGW Tag Team Champion, though, did put out a tweet last week saying he was interested in returning to the Tag Team division, and has put a notice out to the rest of the roster that he is looking for a partner. So I guess over these next couple of weeks we'll see if anybody bites, if anybody takes him up on the offer. But right now he can't look past the POV of CMV. Big old fork smashing. Jay Young throwing caution to the wind with a crossbody, taking himself and Jacobson out. Big Show keeping his distance, but as always, casting quite a shadow. And Jay Young not showing any fear as he just walks right into the Giant, keeping his focus on the task at hand. Jacobson getting thrown about the ringside area. Now back into the ring we go. What truly is the relationship between Jacobson and Big Show? Jacobson maybe looking for some protection as Anarchy Champion. He's got a target on his back. It's not a bad idea, honestly. And especially someone like Big Show. Remember all the dirty work he used to do for Zach Payne back in the day. Where's Zach Payne, I wonder? Surprise small package here by Jay Young. Gets a close 2 count, but not enough to catch the champion off guard. Nice combination of strikes from Jay Young. Should be trying to get at something. Brian Jacobson looking up at the lights. The aspirations of becoming a hardcore king down the drain at cause and effect, but that's apparently what Brian Jacobson wanted. Psych out by Jay Young. DDT to take out the champ. What a show we have in store, guys. All 3 men who will be involved in the biggest match in CMV history, maybe one of the biggest matches in wrestling history, period. 3 weeks. Def Con, Shay Hoxton, Jason Spade, Chris Proudfoot for the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship and the NGCW Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. All three men in action here tonight. Along with a whole lot more. Jacobson beating his chest as he finally gets the upper hand here on Jay Young. Follows him to the outside, only to bring him back into the squared circle now. Been a great season thus far for Jacobson. Picking up his first championship in CMV. Towards the start of the season. And he has had an iron grip on that Anarchy Championship. What a match he had last episode with Jaquan Shea. Going for a ride right now. This is not going to end well for the Paragon of Virtue, Verta Breaker. Into the pin. Jay Young could have it. 1, 2. So close. Jay Young knows it. As he turns to these fans in the front row. He's got to put his sights back on Jacobson, and that's why. Counters the Irish whip. A curtsy as Big Show cheers him on. I'm impressed that Jay Young's even able to focus. If I was in the ring and Big Show was chilling at ringside, I would not be able to concentrate. Certainly Young's got to have eyes in the back of his head, but setting up Jacobson now. Ooh, turning a pump handle slam into a sort of Samoan drop and hooks the leg. Jay Young has just pinned the Anarchy Champion, guys. And that's got to be one of the biggest wins for Jay Young in his career recently. The Numpty Killer crossing out Anarchy Champion Brian Jacobson to kick off Supremacy number 26, and even with Big Show chilling at ringside, as Jay Young just earned himself a crack at that Anarchy title, I'd say so. If I were Jay Young, though, I wouldn't hang about to celebrate. I'd get out of there as quickly as possible. A great vertebreaker a bit earlier in the match that almost put Jacobson down for the 3 count, but the POV was able to just barely kick out and continue on. But that pump handle Death Valley driver variation proven to be too much for Jacobson to handle, and Jay Young is static with the victory. The sound guy missing his cue here. But congrats to Jay Young. Quite a way to bounce back after his loss in the King of the Ring tournament. And coming up next, guys, it is a rematch from said King of the Ring tournament. In the first round, at Cause and Effect, we saw the new European champion, George King, go one-on-one with Killian Red. Probably one of the more brutal matches on the night. Killian Red was able to defeat George King and move on before losing in the semifinals. But Killian Red is on the hunt to reclaim his European Championship. This is not for the title, but surely if the Louisianimal can beat King again, he'll get that rematch for the championship that he lost last week to George King's Knight, Max Ryder. And we saw on the pre-show, to Cause and Effect, George King made Max Ryder lay down, pinned him to become the new European champion. And tonight, all 3 men involved in that colossal main event at DEF CON in 3 weeks. Shay Hoxton, Jason Spade, and the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Chris Proudfoot in action. Jason Spade was supposed to take on Bloody Justice tonight, but after what happened at the start of the show, we'll get into that a little bit later on. Instead, Jason Spade slated to go one-on-one with Jared Leon, while Chris Proudfoot will be joined by his disciple Joey Diaz to take on the new Unified World Tag Team Champions Quantum and Bob Luger. And in our main event, guys, so Rossi returns to go one-on-one with international champion Shay Hoxton. But here we go, Killian Red and George King one-on-one, non-title. King going to try to get his win back from the first round in the King of the Ring tournament. A powerbomb. What else to kick things off by Killian Red. And certainly interesting to not see either Max Schreider or Joe Dirt at ringside. Nice catch by George King there, spinning side slam into a pin, trying to finish Red off early. But not going to be quite so lucky. Double axe handle misses. Goes for a hook. Turns it into a snapmare. And now goes after that arm. A couple of elbows getting through right to that pec. Quite an upset last episode of Supremacy when Max Schreider dethroned Killian Red to become the new European champion. Shocked everyone, including George King. But Max Schreider going down to have one of the shortest reigns in CMV history as King made him lay down. And Max Schreider was actually resilient, didn't want to. So George King had to forcefully put down his knight to become European champion. Once again, that title he held all those years ago. The first championship he won in CMV. Went on to have a historic reign. Maybe looking to beat his own record. First, he's got to get past Killian Red. Snapmare into a pin. You can see how desperate George King is to put Killian Red down early, guys. Frequent pins. Only a couple of minutes into this match. And now some elbows of his own to the pec. Going to show him how it's done. Takes that arm and snaps it off the canvas. Goes for a stop. That's the best strategy you have to imagine against someone the size of Killian Red. Get them grounded and just work on them from that position so they can't throw around their power. Killian Red not going to let that happen so easily, though. Look at that. Just takes George King and tosses him almost out of the ring, guys. And George King's not a small guy. He's one of the bigger men on the Supremacy roster, but compared to Killian Redman, it's like a ragdoll effect. Not even a one count off of that pin attempt. Big kick to the back of the send, shooting pain surely up and down the spine of George King, the new European champion, getting hit with that knee drop right across the chest. And Killian Red maybe trying to adopt the strategy he used at cause and effect. Just raw aggression, repeated power bombs back to back to back, really not giving George King a chance to breathe. I mean, look at this, a spinning sit-out power bomb. The Louisianimal, when he gets going like this, man, you can't stop him, like a runaway train. And this is what he used to defeat George King at cause and effect, the triple power bombs. Is he going to do it again? 1, 2. No, George King able to grit his teeth and kick out. But what does he have left? Killian Red wants to finish the job. George King says not so fast. Clothesline into the corner. Tries to go for maybe a butt splash, a hip splash of some kind. Red using all of his weight with that crossbody. King just popping right back up. Goes for a spear, high knee. And now things are kicking up a notch here between Killian Red and George King on Supremacy number 26. Runs into another knee clothesline by Killian Red. George King looking worse for wear. Hammer fist into a pop-up last ride sit-out power bomb. Say that 3 times fast. Grabbing King by his beard, looking him dead in the eyes. Punch to the pec, though, by the European champion. And a powerbomb of his own, maybe? Yes! Saying, have a taste of your own medicine. George King celebrating prematurely. Clothesline. Killian Red won't stay down, though. Another clothesline. Ducks Killian Red's clothesline attempt. Leaping lariat off the ropes. With a head full of steam, rolls out of the way. Does Killian Red charges for another clothesline attempt. STO by King. Had some oomph behind it. And telling Killian Red, here, let me help you. Like the kind humanitarian he is. Vertical suplex to the Louisianimal. Into the pin. Will that be enough? 1. No, only a 1 count. And George King can hardly believe it. Killian Red shooting right back to his feet. He knows he's got to turn things around real quick, but he might not have a chance. George King with the single knee backbreaker. Vintage King into the pin. 1, 2. Trying to tie things up between he and Red. But what's it going to take? George King doesn't know. He's a bit beside himself. Those few precious seconds he wasted might end up costing him. Another last ride power bomb, extending the arm. This is an expert pinning position right here, but still it's not enough to get the 3 count on George King. Red getting a bit agitated. George King knows that Irish whip taking out the referee. First bump of the night. Kick to the midsection claw, able to turn it around into a German suplex. Looked like referee Johnson is okay. He can continue. He's a tough guy. And George King, is he gonna hit it? Royal flush. And that's gotta do it. 1, 2. Killian Red powering through, able to kick out of the Royal flush. And you saw the look on George King's face. Jaw nearly dropped to the canvas. Leg drop now, though, as he tries to stay on top of Killian Red. Dodges that second attempt of the crossbody, and another single knee backbreaker off the fireman's carry position. Look how fast King drops down into the pin. 1, 2. Right into the hard camera. George King, his eyes wide open, but wasting no time as he turns right around, setting Killian Red up for a second Royal flush. And come on now. 1, 2, 3. George King makes it even between he and the Louisianimal. But it was not easy. George King standing tall. And credit where credit is due, by himself. No interference by the Kingdom. Max Ryder and Joe Dirt not even at ringside. 2 Royal flushes. Pretty much back to back. Only about a minute between them. And even Killian Red can't survive that. I thought it was over after that last ride powerbomb. And look at that pin. People call Killian Red a mindless brute, but he proves them wrong with an expert pinning position like that. There's the first Royal flush, which Killian Red was able to kick out of, but the second only a few moments later. Not so lucky. Okay, and the sound guy, I guess, is just taking the rest of the night off. Wait a minute, is that Max Ryder? What is he doing out here? Coming down to the ring? He's attacking George King. What's this about? Max Ryder, the night of George King. He's had enough. What happened on the pre-show for cause and effect was the last straw after years of enduring punishment at the hands of George King. Max Ryder is done, but maybe this was a bit premature. George King is ready to fight back and put his night back in line, quell this rebellion. Snap vertical suplex. Max Ryder letting his emotions get the better of him, and George King doing what any good king would and making sure that his soldiers fall in line, giving Max Ryder another beating here. Deep scoop slam. And you gotta respect Max Ryder trying to come into his own, but George King is having none of it here on Supremacy. Putting Max Ryder down again, putting Max Ryder in his place. Dissension brewing within the kingdom. Can George King put the pieces back together, or is Max Ryder done? Can't blame him. Years of abuse going to catch up to you eventually. But up next, here we go. Originally supposed to be Bloody Justice one-on-one with Jason Spade. But after what happened before the show started tonight, if you missed it, you can check out our website, communityuniverse.4emotion.com. !join in the chat. We'll give you a link Xander Slade, after months and months of trying to get rid of Bob Luger, and to a lesser extent Quantum, tried to use the Brothers Justice as a last-ditch effort to do his dirty work. But we saw what happened at Cause and Effect. Quantum and Bob Luger defeating Jared Leon and Bloody Justice to become the new Unified World Tag Team Champions. So Xander Slate, before the show started tonight, put Jared Leon and Bloody Justice in a room, was going to dish out some punishment, told them that only one of them could stick by his side. The other was no longer of use to him, gave each a bat. And I guess Bloody Justice, not expecting his brother-in-law to turn on him, put his bat down, but Jared Leon instead used his to beat the ever-living hell out of Bloody Justice. So Bloody Justice has been kicked to the curb by Xander Slate and Tailcoat Val, their alliance, while Jared Leon has truly become corporate. And so now he's taking Bloody Justice's place, who obviously can't compete tonight after that beatdown against Jason Spade. Jason Spade, though, not backing down from the last-second change. Feeling good after he and Sarasi's victory in the main event of Cause and Effect, that Colossive, I believe I called it, triple threat tornado tag team match. Sarasi was Jason Spade's mystery partner after Andrew Briggs was taken out last week. And the two of them, old rivals, able to come together and dispatch of God's Chosen, Hoxton, and Subject Zero. Of course, Proudfoot still to come, and action later on, he and Joey Diaz against Quantum and Bob Luger. And in our main event, International Champion Shay Hoxton goes one-on-one with Sarasi, hanging around for an extra night to give us that banger, which it surely will be. Jason Spade, there's no more pit stops. The final destination is clear. 3 weeks' time, the biggest match in CMV history, maybe one of the biggest matches in wrestling history, period. Shay Hoxton, Jason Spade, Chris Proudfoot for the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship and the NGCW Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Spade can't afford to take any chances this close to the moment he's been waiting for. Not going to let Jared Leon get in the way. And there we see Tailcoat Val at ringside. I think she definitely played a big role in Leon's decision to turn on his brother-in-law and the rest of his family. Corrupted beyond belief. I mean, Jared Leon, to begin with, before he met Tailcoat Val, was already a monster. Now he's just a mindless machine. Look at this sleeper, able to latch that on Jason Spade out of nowhere, dragging him down to the mat. But Spade knows a thing or two about submissions, able to escape, rolling back. Jared Leon can hardly believe it. Right into a tilt-a-whirl DDT, spiking Leon right on the dome. Into the pin he goes. One. Only a 1 count. Knee to the midsection, kick to the chest. There's an elbow to the side of the head. No effect on Leon. Just brushes it off as if Jason Spade were a minor annoyance. But better change that way of thinking real quick. And Leon, we've seen in his matches at a point just absolutely loses himself and goes berserk. Nice savant kick from the apron. Jason Spade hooking that leg. Only able to get a 1 count. Innovative offense, though, by the former Zero-G champion. Strike to the chest again, having little effect on Leon, but a nice takedown and some open palm strikes. Not sure if any of those really got through. Good defense by Leon. Irish whip, big man on the rebound. Nice Superman punch. They like climbed to Leon's body to get up. Precision strike and a cutter. How did that mat taste? 1. Jason Spade, though, continuing to only get 1 counts here. Gonna take something bigger, I think, to keep Leon down definitively. Let's keep our eyes on Tailcoat Val as well. Up on that top rope. Could be a long way down for Jason Spade, or maybe not. Roll through into the double boot stomp. The drop zone for Jared Leon. Super kick to the knee, gets caught. Elbow to the knee. Big man flying for an attempted crossbody. Spade says that's funny. Able to keep him down with a boot to the neck. Snapmare. Lines up his shot. Getting some hang time with that drop kick to the temple. Now double barrels in the corner. Through the portal goes Jared Leon, guillotined on that top rope. Jason Spade knows how to use this ring like a tag team partner. And that kick looks like it may have done more damage to Jason Spade than it did Jared Leon. But there's the Lanzenberg lobotomy out of nowhere. Jason Spade sees his opening, taking his shot. 1, 2, but only a 2 count. And Jason Spade getting in referee Johnson's face here, holding up 3 fingers. He said, no, that was a 3, but 2.999, I'd say. This one's still going. Jared Leon giving some time to recuperate. Big meaty clothesline, and Jason Spade not looking too good still to the counter, an Irish whip, and right in Leon's face. Shot to the head, DDT off the apron. And I think I heard the crack of Leon's skull from over here. Tailcoat Val keeping a watchful eye from the corner of the ring. As Spade just lets his frustrations run wild. Those punches from side control and these lights blinding on the ramp. You can barely see anything. I think these two may be blinded as well. Oh, overhead and onto the concrete, guys. That little concrete patch where the steel ramp ends and the mats begin. Jason Spade back first. Oh, man, I felt that. Walking past Tailcoat Val. Tailcoat Val just tried to lay her hands, and I think Jason Spade saying, you best keep your distance. If I'm Spade, I want to get back into the ring. And a smart choice to do just that. Spade turned to these fans. He better turn back around, though. Leon trying to choke the life out of Jason Spade. That big, meaty claw wrapped around Spade's throat. Wait a minute. This one's over. Jared Leon just choked Jason Spade unconscious. Oh, my God. What an upset. We just witnessed Jared Leon has defeated Jason Spade via referee stoppage. Spade did not tap, but Jared Leon refusing to let go, and Spade rendered unconscious from that choke. A rather illegal choke, too, if you ask me. Referee Johnson really had no choice but to call this one. And it was that minor decision by Jason Spade to turn his back on Jared Leon and pander to these fans that cost him. If anyone should know better, it should be Jason Spade, especially this close to DEF CON and the biggest match in CMV history. His chance to finally become world champion again. And Jason Spade's ego getting the better of him here against Leon. Leon, big and mean. Now that he has fully aligned himself with Tailcoat Val and Mr. Slate, could possibly be more dangerous than ever. Ugh, giving me chills. It's the face only a mother could love. And coming up next, guys, we've got some newcomers here on Supremacy in action. Bryce Adams set to go one-on-one with the debuting Deshaun Williams, the protege of Jaquan Shea, who recently decided to hang up his wrestling boots, retiring for now from active competition, and instead wants to introduce us to his protege, Deshaun Williams, who's looking to show us exactly what he's got here against Bryce Adams, who we saw debut a few weeks ago against Harry Wallace. You'll remember Harry Wallace got his first win in quite a while over Bryce Adams, and Adams, who wasn't too happy about that, interfering in the match a couple weeks ago between Harry Wallace and Austin Collins, helping Collins to a victory over Wallace. So it looks like we are going to have a bit of an audience at ringside for this one. Jaquan Shea, of course, one of the most athletically gifted superstars in CMV history, so I'm sure that we can expect big things from Deshaun Williams here. Still to come, guys, CMV undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Chris Proudfoot and Joey Diaz taking on Quantum and Bob Luger. And in our main event, Shay Hoxton one-on-one with Supremacy. Definitely not going to want to miss that one. As referee Johnson rings the bell, here we go. Bryce Adams, Deshaun Williams. Adams going to go behind. Nice takedown. Austin Collins seems to be returning the favor to Bryce Adams as he parks a seat in his corner, while Harry Wallace making it clear that things are not over. All is not forgiven. It took Harry Wallace a long time to get back on track when he picked up that win over Bryce Adams. Bryce made sure, though, to rain on that parade. Look at that, Deshaun Williams with a Northern Light suplex rolling through. You got to have some pretty incredible upper body strength to pull something like that off. Bryce Adams taking a breath back into the ring. He comes, though, catching a super kick to the gut. And now we get a head scissors takedown. Jaquan Shea, a showman. Seems as though he's given that side of himself to Deshaun Williams. Nothing wrong with showing off every now and then, though we saw it just cost Jason Spade a few moments ago in the last match. So, brave buster down onto the knee. Bryce Adams knows all about that vintage business here in CMV. Hooks the leg, only a 1 count. Knife edge chop, and that one echoed. Woo! Lighten up the chest. Fireman's carry set up by Deshaun. Looks like we're going for a bit of a spin. Around and around we go. Airplane spin. I'm getting a bit dizzy just watching this right now. Oh, one rotation isn't enough. Here we go again. Oh, man. Look at the referee's head. Just back and forth, back and forth. Deshaun Williams can barely stand. Falling into the cover. Doesn't even get a 1 count. Grabbing that head of hair, Deshaun Williams. Back to the fireman's carry. No more airplane spins, please. There we go. Samoan drop. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Deshaun. Bryce Adams trying to use the ropes to prop himself up. Another brainbuster down out of the knee. Keeps doing all this damage to the back of the head. Gonna catch up with Williams eventually. Newcomers gotta know that. Towards the hard camera, making sure everybody gets a good look at that double knee gutbuster. And off the ropes we go. Head full of steam. Boot to the side of the head. Apparently that woke Bryce Adams up. Straight to his feet just to be put back down with some authority. Shawn Williams loves his fireman carries. Another Samoan drop. Simple but effective. And Deshaun appreciating the adulation these fans are giving him in his debut. On their feet. I think they're quickly becoming fans as well. Counters the Irish whip. Drop down. But look at the agility of Deshaun. Backflipping into a head scissors. And Adams a bit wobbly, but still able to maintain his footing and plant Deshaun with a clothesline. Uh-oh. Bryce Adams taking Deshaun down to the canvas, locking him in a deep guillotine choke. This could be big trouble for Deshaun Williams, but able to get to his feet and slam Bryce Adams down on his lower back, forcing him to break the hold. And now some forearm smashes being dished out. Buy one, get one. Tries to go low, Bryce Adams. Now set into the corner. Slow approach. Boot to the face, Bryce popping over for a DDT. Into the pin. Will that be enough? Edge out the victory here. Not quite, only a 1 count. Austin Collins, arms crossed, not looking too impressed with what he's seeing. I wonder if he's out here for more of an obligation than any real desire to support Bryce Adams. Just doesn't want to owe him one. Harry Wallace, on the other hand, making sure to watch this one very closely. Cutter by Deshaun, truly out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, and Deshaun Williams just like that. You see the hang time he got on it? Beautiful, textbook you could say. Execution. And a big dub for Deshaun Williams in his debut. I'm sure that put a smile on the face of Jaquan Shea. Not so much Bryce Adams. Like what I saw from both superstars, but Deshaun Williams out to impress in his debut, and most certainly did. The pressure was on for Bryce Adams with Harry Wallace watching, and he dropped the ball. Wallace wants to come and get him some. Yeah, Austin Collins looks like he would rather be anywhere than at ringside for this match, and now with the favor returned, they may be going to go his own way, but Deshaun Williams, big things in the future of this kid. Coming up next now, guys, the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion Chris Proudfoot and his disciple Joey Diaz, God's Chosen, taking on Quantum and Bob Luger, no longer the Unified World Tag Team Champions, at least not together. Quantum still one half of the champs, but earlier tonight, Bob Luger relinquishing his half, saying he will find a suitable replacement for Quantum, but of course, that's just a part of the bigger story after what happened between Mr. Slate, Jared Leon, and Bloody Justice. Mr. Slate would come out to start the show, announcing that he was officially going to be handling things himself. The old adage, it's just better to do things yourself. Nobody else can do it better. Mr. Slate saying just that as he decided to officially step down as general manager just for the time being, so that he could take on Bob Luger in 3 weeks' time at DEF CON. It is official. The match that Bob Luger requested, challenged Slate to months ago, is finally going to go down, and Bob Luger had to sacrifice something as well, that being his half of the Unified World Tag Team titles. But in order to get that shot at Mr. Slate, willing to do so, but like I said, not going to leave Quantum hanging. Luger said he will find a replacement, but for tonight, they are going to go into battle just one more time to take on God's Chosen. Chris Proudfoot and Joey Diaz probably a bit sore after the main event at Cause and Effect, but on to brighter things. Proudfoot can't worry about that. 3 weeks' time, perhaps the biggest match in CMV history, as he defends his CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship and vies to become NGCW Undisputed Champion against Shay Hoxton and Jason Spade. But for tonight, he and his disciple reigniting an old rivalry with Luger. Chris Proudfoot, no doubt about it, played a big part in the misery of Bob Luger these last few months. Last time we saw them share a ring was Point Break, where Chris Proudfoot defeated Luger to retain his world championship. Ooh, powerbomb, and Diaz landing rather unceremoniously on his neck there. Still to come, of course, Shay Hoxton In the main event, one-on-one with Supremacy, sticking around for an extra night to give us that banger. Potential to steal the show. No doubt about it. Imagine being Luger finally, after all these months, the pain, the torment, the anguish, gets his match with Slate, defying the former esteemed general manager of Supremacy time and time again. Mr. Slate had no choice but to step up and handle things himself, say he's going to rid CMV of Bob Luger once and for all at DEF CON. But this goes even further than... Oh, low blow by Proudfoot on the outside. And I'm not sure that referee Johnson saw that. Diaz was standing in front of him. This match going to continue. Diaz certainly elated. And they were able to pull that one off. Ooh, crack to the jaw. As I was saying, though, things between Slate and Luger, if you're new to CMV, it's not just these last few months since the season started. Years and years this goes back. And finally, it reaches its end, its final destination at DEF CON, which is shaping up to be one of the biggest pay-per-views in CMV history. Those two matches alone. The triple threat title match and Slate Luger. And still more to come. Count of 9 already here, as Joey Diaz has been on top of Quantum like a monkey on a cupcake at 10 back into the ring. Remember, Quantum has until 20 to join him. Looks like those ribs are taking a beating. Question is, who is Luger going to find to replace him in the team with Quantum for the next championship defense, whatever that may be? Luger says he has someone in mind and he will not let Quantum down when the time comes. Quantum will have a new partner. Ooh, on the neck. But for now, Quantum carrying those titles all by himself. Not the first time it's been done in CMV. Probably not the last. Count of 7, Diaz. Now it's his turn to get thrown around. Quantum saying, bring it on, but Diaz says, get back in the ring. Not about that life. Diaz just so quick. The NGW alumni. Those lightning strikes. The hot commodity doing some work on the knee and ankle of the future man. Still to come, guys, tonight. The King of the Ring winner, Brett Curtis. Gonna go one-on-one with Masao Kage, a rematch from the finals of said King of the Ring tournament that he won at cause and effect. And guys, look at Diaz here. What a submission hold. I don't even know what to call this. Sort of an octopus stretch variation. But the way that he locked it in was pretty brutal. Those elbows to the side of the head. And if not for the save by Luger, Quantum, trapped in the center of the ring, may have had to tap it. It looks like Diaz going to let the pin happen. As he maybe wants to tag in Proudfoot, thought about it. Quantum just can't keep up with the striking aptitude of Diaz. There's the hot tag. And here comes the work ethic titan, baby. Bob Luger, he's fired up. Cutting off Diaz from getting the tag to Proudfoot. Eats a jawbreaker. Kick to the midsection as Diaz tries to close the distance. Oh, and here we go. There's one. There's two. Will we get a third? Will the trip to Suplex City be complete? Yes, it will. Luger's not done, though. He's got something else. No idea what that was. I believe they call that the Southern Light Suplex. Maybe. I could be wrong. I think they also call that the thing. The thingamajig. The whatchamacallit. Targeting the arm now, Luger. Maybe setting up Diaz for that arm bar of his. Oh, or maybe a throwback to his papa. with the torture rack into a neck breaker. The second generation superstar. Looks like he's struggling to get to his feet there. No surprise. No easy task winning those titles at cause and effect. The Brothers Justice put up a hell of a fight. Irish whip, meeting him on the rebound. It's a punch to the pec, goes low, clothesline from the cardio maniac who's showing off those 18-inch pythons, brother. Those muscles shining in the light here. European uppercut. And Bob Luger saying, bring it on. I think he wants Diaz to make the tag to Proudfoot, but I don't think Diaz knows where he is right now. Another European uppercut. Trying to go after the arm again. Diaz saying enough is enough. Forearm smash and another one. Forearm smash of his own. Luger backing Diaz into the corner. Boot to the side of the head. The hot commodity exploding with a catchphrase and a drop kick to the side of the head. And the gas running on E for Joey Diaz. Rolls out of the way. Luger with the quickness. Taking Diaz on another trip to Suplex City. Liked it so much the first time, booked another flight. Proudfoot right there, and the tag is made. Here comes the CMV Undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. Like I said, these two have not been in a ring with each other since Point Break, where Proudfoot put Luger down to retain his championship. We thought Luger was done for good. But of course, as Luger does, came back, ready to fight until his last breath, and that last breath may take place in 3 weeks' time at DEF CON. But if Luger is going to go down, he's going to take Slate with him. Look at Proudfoot right now, though. Not missing a beat. Looking like the world champion that he is. But will he still be after DEF CON? Luger not letting go of Proudfoot's arm. Staying latched to it like a pit bull with a bone. Nice evasion by Proudfoot. Planting some kicks to the back of the knee. Continuing to target said knee with a knee drop. Diaz back on the apron as Luger gets off and kicked to the midsection, goes for a clothesline, but man, sidestep Proudfoot just sending Luger to the outside, having that strip at CNX fall. Quantum keeping an eye, watchful from the apron. Clothesline with a roll through. Count of 2 by referee Johnson as Luger gets sent towards the steel steps. Arms raised, Proudfoot thinking he's already victorious. Not just yet though, Luger still kicking. It may look like he's down, but never truly out. That's something that Proudfoot knows all too well. As he gets ready for the biggest match in his career. The biggest match in CMV history. Busting Luger open with a knee drop. Scraping the forehead. Just throwing a work ethic Titan all about the ringside area here. Back into the ring at the count of 8. Luger going to join him as he fixes his trousers. We saw what happened to Jason Spade earlier tonight. Let his ego get the better of him against Jared Leon. The match ended up getting stopped by the referee. Fujiwara armbar here by Proudfoot. And now it's Quantum's turn to save Luger, but I think Luger able to save himself. Rolls out of that one. Vintage Luger. Oh, with the wheel kick, but accidentally clipping Quantum. He apologized, though. I think Quantum will understand. It was an accident. These things happen. Miscommunication. We'll see how Hoxton fares later on in our main event against Supremacy. Can't wait for that one. Oh, but Proudfoot nailed with the Luger landing. 1, 2. Diaz having faith in his supreme leader to kick out of that one, which he does. Now with Quantum still down, this might be Proudfoot's chance to strike. Turning to these fans, telling Luger, come on, this all you got? It's a surprise that after all these months, the beat downs, the moments where we all thought Luger was done for, that he's still standing and in as good a shape as he is. Clothesline. Kick to the back as Proudfoot's trying to get to his feet. Oh, and Proudfoot has been caught off guard by this before at the hands of Bob Luger. Remember how he lost the International Championship at Battle Stars? But Proudfoot going to try to beat him in his own game, and he almost does. An amalgamation now of bodies in the ring. I have no idea what I'm seeing. This match going to continue, though. Diaz got to get out of the ring before he's disqualified. Diaz took the trip. Now it's Proudfoot's turn. With a second to go before the ref calls this one. Diaz returning to his apron. 3 German suplexes. Not enough. 3 more. Bob Luger can go all night long, it seems. And here comes the 6th. Right on the neck. Oh, but Diaz calling the attention of Luger from the apron, and just those precious couple of seconds that Luger was distracted, enough for Proudfoot to take his shot. Hot tag to Quantum, and it might be up to the Future Man, who comes in, head full of steam. Chest first on the top rope, gonna make it hard for Proudfoot to breathe. The Hadouken! Open palm strike to the heart. Proudfoot. He doesn't have a heart, though. Still able to continue on, and much to the chagrin of Quantum, who gets put down with the side effect. Hooks the leg. Can Luger make the save in time? 1, 2. Doesn't need to. Quantum and Proudfoot face to face, not for the first time. Middle of the ring here on Supremacy number 26. Last time these two fought one-on-one. Things did not go well for Quantum, but trying to make up for it now with the 24th punch and a couple of extra head smashes just for good measure. And that's going to be enough. Quantum and Bob Luger able to put down God's chosen here on Supremacy number 26. Nothing is going to stop Bob Luger from reaching his final destination, his date with Xander Slate at DEF CON in 3 weeks. It all finally comes to an end. But for Chris Proudfoot, the same could be said. The biggest match in his career, the biggest match in CMV history, no doubt. Maybe one of the biggest matches in wrestling history, period. Chris Proudfoot defends his world championship against Shea Hoxton and Jason Spade, while simultaneously trying to become the NGCW Undisputed Champion. But tonight has not gone so well. Jason Spade, now Proudfoot. How will Hoxton fare in the main event against Supremacy? Looks like Luger's got a nasty cut under his eye. But that's but a mere flesh wound. Nothing gonna stop Luger from reaching Slate. Nothing. Is that a Echo I see in the chat? I did witness you. Hello, Echo. Haven't seen you in the chat in quite a while. Always a pleasure. Really, I do like it. I like it better than the previous games because there's more options. Sometimes it comes out of the eye, sometimes it comes out of the nose, the back of the head sometimes. More dynamic. Echo, you beautiful, beautiful soul. But now our tertiary event coming up next. We've still got the AOTV, the Arsenal of Tailcoat Val, taking on Los Felinos Fatales. In our co-main event, of course, Shea Hoxton one-on-one with Supremacy, and our main event could shortly steal the show. Can't wait for that, but can say the same about this one. Masao Kage taking on Brett Curtis, a rematch from the finals of the King of the Ring tournament at Cause and Effect last week, in which, of course, Brett Curtis won to become the 7th annual King of the Ring, finally smashing through that glass ceiling, and now has earned himself a future shot at the World Championship. And I did get some info a bit earlier tonight. He will face the winner of the triple threat at DEF CON, the biggest match in CMV history. Who will it be? Hoxton, Spade, or Proudfoot? Brett Curtis awaits the winner, as we all do. But for now, these two, obviously, throughout the course of the King of the Ring tournament, took a lot of damage by the time they ended up facing each other. The match was only a couple of minutes long because they were both so beaten down, but now nice and fresh. We'll see if the same results will be the outcome as Masao Kage takes on Brett Curtis. And Kage definitely impressing. He was the dark horse in the King of the Ring tournament and made it all the way to the finals. But Brett Curtis was done waiting his turn after years of hard work. You couldn't help but to have a smile on your face when the referee's hand came down for the 3 and Brett Curtis donned that crown, held that scepter, and sat upon his throne, King of the Ring, the former NGW Tag Team Champion. Now the #1 contender, and awaits with the rest of the world to see who comes out of DEF CON as the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. Well, like I said, no looking past Masao Kage, as they are now at 100%. Look, this match has already lasted longer than their King of the Ring finals match. Forearm smashes from Curtis. Coming out strong. Irish whip there. Into the corner. Curtis erring on the side of caution as he approaches slowly. Almost costed him. Sending Kage up against the ropes. Throwing out some right hands uncontested. And now hung out to dry. Curtis on the apron, taking a step back, lining up his shot for a big old knee to the side of the head. Sawakage here in a ring-in right now. Lifting reverse DDT by the Specialist. Looking Kage dead in his eyes. Oh, and saying, your time is up. Looking to prove that Cause and Effect was no fluke. He became the King of the Ring because he was the better man. Look at these forearm smashes, almost reverting to a primal state of being. Curtis mercilessly beating Kage down to the canvas. Kage needing to take some refuge on the apron, but not even safe there as Curtis brings him through the ropes for a Hangman's DDT. Hooks the leg. Will that be it? One. Only a one count. Curtis, now that he is King of the Ring, now that he has made it to the mountaintop, got a lot of eyes on him. A lot of people waiting to see if he can carry that mantle with the spotlight shining bright on him. The butterflies get to him, and can Curtis prove whatever doubters may be left within the CMV universe that he deserves to be in this position, that he deserves to be in the upper echelon. Powerbomb to Kage, trying to throw out these kicks. Curtis has an answer for everything, though. Stomp to the chest, telling Kage, stay down, you know what's good for you. Kage, not in the mood to do so. Kicking out again at 1. Irish whip by the Specialist. Coming back at him, get a barrel roll. Tripping up Kage. And chipped a tooth. Has his mouth smashed off the canvas. Center of the ring, those bare ankles being targeted now. With It's always a risk you take for a striker like Masao Kage. Doesn't want to wear those boots because his strikes become more lethal, but at the same time exposes himself. No protection. And Brett Curtis making the best of it. Never coming into a match blind. Always does his homework. I always see Curtis in the back watching tapes, studying, trying to be his best self. And that's what led him all the way through the King of the Ring tournament to the finals, to beating Kage, to becoming King of the Ring. Now earning that future championship match. Knee to the back of the head. Things are not looking good for Kage. Brett Curtis all over him like a monkey on a cupcake. Tying up those legs again. Grabbing the nostrils. Jeez. Curtis, man. And a stomp to the lower back, because why not? Hip toss. Cartwheel and a knee. So athletic. Brett Curtis really is the total package. Thrown off the shoulders. Masao Kage could be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Refusing to go into that light, though. Close count, but Curtis not letting that change his game plan. Staying on the money, goes low, but Masao Kage ready for it this time. Not going to get caught off guard like he was at cause and effect. Tried to go low. Brett Curtis playing leapfrog. Jockey for control now in the collar double tie up. Kage coming out the better man into the end of days. And Kage makes the cover. 1, 2. But Kage thought he had it for sure. I think I believed myself for a moment that this one was over. Brett Curtis knows he's got to bring his A game. Fallout of the biggest win in his career. Can't afford to take the L. Look how he stopped Kage from rolling out of the ring. Made the pin. Another close 2 count. Let's just hope that Brett Curtis doesn't let those voices in his head get to him. We've seen this before from Kage. The gory special as he bends Curtis's back while simultaneously wrenching the arms. Curtis escapes with an arm drag, grabbing at his back. The damage may already be done. And Kage's going in for the kill. Brain buster. Not enough. Kage wants blood. Trying for some knees to the chest. Curtis able to keep him at bay. Winds up a back elbow. Took too long. Hangman's neck breaker. Old school, but effective as effective can be. And there's those knees again. Curtis saying, Want none of that, but he might not have a choice. Knee to the chest. Gasping for breath is Brett Curtis. Rope break, though, knowing where he is at all times. Ring awareness on display. Like I said before, total package. He's got the looks, he's got the athleticism, he's got the smarts. The King of the Ring, though, could that be his mistake? Turning his back on Kage. Now the Japanese native with a snapmare. Sharp kick to the back from Curtis, able to roll to the outside where he can't be pinned, where he can't be submitted. What a match this has turned out to be. I knew these two, nice and fresh, were going to come out here and deliver. After making it all the way through the King of the Ring tournament, both of them were exhausted. They wanted to finish each other off as quickly as possible. Brett Curtis was the better man, but what a display by both superstars here on Supremacy as Curtis gets his back tracked off of the security wall. Good God. And again, Masao Kage, it worked so well the first time. No need to go to the chiropractor. Kage's got him covered. Count of 6 by referee Johnson. Kage back into the ring. Gonna try to win this one via count out. Changes his mind. Resetting the count to 1. Brett Curtis unresponsive. At the mercy of Kage now, who just throws him. Down alongside the ring, float over DDT and Curtis. Spurting that crimson red, that's what Kage likes to see. Super kick to the gut, mushroom stop evaded. Thrown into the ring. Hot in pursuit. Curtis not seeing Kage from behind. Back suplex. Misawa able to adopt a slower, more methodical pace because he knows he's got Curtis in the palm of his hands. Like putty. Kick to the midsection, not again. Curtis barely able to escape the first time. Is there enough left in the king of the ring to be able to find a way out of this one again, or will he be forced to tap? Over the back, but no, Curtis refuses. I thought for a second that he had tapped. I thought the ref was going to call it. I thought this one was over, but Brett Curtis bringing the fire. Reversing that O'Connor roll attempt. Picking Kage up. Oh, there's that cutter again. He can hit it from anywhere. Never safe. And Curtis can't help but to get a bit agitated with the referee here, clapping his hands, saying, come on, that was a 3. That had to be a 3. How was that not a 3? But Curtis now, laser focused, not taking his eyes off of Kage, who reverses again. Chop block, taking out Curtis. Dragged away from the ropes. No refuge for the king of the ring. Elbow drop to the gut. This one is stealing the show. Hoxton and Sarasi going to have a lot to follow up on. I thought that was going to be the show stealer, but man, the roof of this arena has been blown off and it still ain't over. Slap to the back of the head, showing disrespect, and a reverse DDT down out of the knee. Kage backing into the corner, and this is what he used to defeat Killian Red in the King of the Ring tournament. Gonna explode. Single knee to the face. But that's not enough. The choke acting as a cherry on top, telling Curtis stay down. 2. Are you kidding me? How does Curtis even have a face left? Let alone, how is he able to kick out? Goes for a choke slam. This Kage. Curtis with a couple of well-placed elbows to the side of the head. Open palm strikes to the chest. Kicks to the knee. That was a straight jab to the jaw. Going after the ankle again. He has painted a target. Not letting up. A third cutter from the shoulder. They say the third time's the charm. 1, 2, 3. Brett Curtis finally able to put down Misawa Kage. What a match. With both men at 100%, they just left everything in that ring. A humdinger without a doubt, but Curtis able to prove that cause and effect was no fluke. He was just the better man one way or another. Brett Curtis sees the finish line. DEFCON will produce him a champion to challenge Can the king of the ring rise? Wait a minute. Is that Reese Matthews? Reese Matthews charging the ring. What the hell is he doing out here? The total package is attacking Bret Curtis after that epic match he just had with Masao Akage, and Curtis has got to have nothing left. But still the king of the ring, ready to continue the fight. Why in the hell would Reese Matthews be coming out here to attack Bret Curtis? Much like Max Ryder earlier tonight trying to jump George King, though, may end up regretting it because Bret Curtis is riding a wave of momentum right now, and he ain't ready to get off just yet. And now we get a, inverted atomic drop off the ropes, boot to the face, and a senton. Whatever the motivation is for Reese Matthews to come out here and try and soil this moment for Bret Curtis, I'm sure it has not gone the way he would have liked it to, and now we're at a stalemate. Both men face to face as a wave of security finally comes out from the back to separate these two. Learned a very valuable lesson. Now that he has made it to the peak of the mountain, he has a target on his back, and Reese Matthews has taken it upon himself, for whatever reason, to come after the king of the ring. Neither man getting the better of the other in that exchange, as security has dragged them off to the back. We still got our co-main event guys to come up next, as the AOTV going to be Tashera and Labyrinth, with Tailcoat Val, of course, and Subject Zero in tow, taking on Los Felinos Fatales. Golden Cat and Danger Cat have been waiting for this match for quite a while. You'll remember for months, Danger Cat was MIA, and his best friend, his tag team partner, Golden Cat, donned his detective's cap and was on the case, doing everything he possibly could. It ended up being Danger Cat's taxes that led him on the trail to finally find his feline friend, who was being held captive by Tailcoat Val and her arsenal. Golden Cat saving his friend, but as we saw a couple of weeks ago, Danger Cat, I mean, even before he was abducted, wasn't exactly, oh my. I've had it, guys. This game is... Oh, man. I've got so little patience left for this game. So little patience left. There's got to be one. There's got to be one crash a stream. Ay, ay, ay. What's that saying you're supposed to do when you get all agitated? I want to say Fusro Da, but that's from Skyrim. I know it reset the matches. too. I just irritated because it hates me. Hates me with a passion.